Hi everyone. So we're going to talk about the girls' heat cycle now. As you know, according to my contract, I want the girls neutered only after a year old and after their first heat. So my girls tend to come in heat after 8 months old. So anytime around there, you should be watching for it. It's very handy that their bums are shaved because they're in the lion trim. It keeps them clean, particularly the girls and the boys too. So the first thing you will notice is the vulva swells and it just looks different than it did before. So once you notice that, mark the day on your calendar. Then it could happen that day or in a couple of days, you might see a little bit of bleeding. So take a Kleenex and find out if that's what's happening. The amount of bleeding is quite minimal. Usually it depends on the girl, but I would say maybe a teaspoon a day or a tablespoon a day. It's not that much. I have the other video of how to put on and fix the little swimmers for them to wear in the house so you don't have a mess. So the whole heat process lasts, there's about 3 weeks that you need to be concerned. And again, it differs from girl to girl, but those 3 weeks are quite typical. So you're going to notice the swelling, then you're going to notice some bleeding. Typically, they will spot blood for the first week, and then the next week it will stop. This is the week they're probably ovulating. It's not an exact science, of course, it's all up to them, but my girls typically ovulate day 11 to 14, let's say. That's from when you first saw an indication that they were in heat. So mark this all on your calendar so you can keep track. You'll need to tell the vet afterwards. So when they ovulate, of course, is the day that they can be impregnated. So those days between, let's say, 10 and 14, you want to absolutely keep them away from any intact males. There shouldn't be too many intact males around you. Most people's dogs are neutered. But they should be on the leash all the time and under a watchful eye when you have them outside. So even though there's only 1 day that they're ovulating, the male semen can live for 5 days. So anytime around that day, you want to be careful and you just don't want anything to happen. So after they ovulate, they might start bleeding a little bit again, spotting. They still will accept a male, most of them, for another week. So we're into the 3rd week now. So you just want to be careful there's no intact boys around. And then all of a sudden after the 3rd week, hopefully, some of them go longer, they will not accept a male. They'll growl and snarl and be quite bitchy towards any male that approaches them. So that's kind of the way it goes. If you have any questions, give me a call.